Hello and welcome to this little Spalluccipedia video. Today we have another little dive into the ever-expanding universe which surrounds my fictional investigator, paranormal Sam Spallucci. But first, before I whiffle on for the next few minutes, could you please just give me a quick little like and one of those wonderful little subscribes. It does make one feel incredibly well loved here on the internet. So today I want to have a little chat about a relatively new character called Bobby Normal. For those of you who haven't read the Bobby Normal books, at the time of recording this, there's 2 published and 1 soon to be published. I'm guessing by the time this video is actually released, it might actually be 4. So we'll see how we're going. Timelines and all that, they are a bit of a bitch. Yeah, so for those of you who haven't read the Bobby Normal books, they're set in the far future of Sam's world. In fact, they're set post-divergence. Kanor has risen, he's unleashed his constructs on the world, and humanity has literally been decimated. You know, it is about a tenth of what it originally was, if that. Things have been pushed back very much like Dark Ages. There's no technology. There's certain animals are missing, like there's no cats. All the cats have gone, which is quite an interesting little concept. And the constructs are wandering the earth along with the shadow race, who are like uber constructs, inflicting the will of Kanor and his 2 generals, his fallen, upon that remnant of society who are just there as menials, almost there for like a punishment to know that Kanor has bested them. And in this we have Bobby. Bobby, the age isn't actually specified, but it's like a young teenage lad, and he has his kid sister Katie, who is an 8-year-old, and they are orphans, as all good heroes tend to be. The mother died when she was giving birth to Katie. The father died when Katie was young, and was executed on trumped-up charges, or possibly trumped-up charges, of treason against Kanor. He was killed by a shadow wraith. So that leaves Bobby and Katie on their own, and that's where we pick up the story at the beginning of the first book, Bobby Normal and the Eternal Talisman. And as the books progress, we see them become more and more drawn into this shadowy world. They encounter someone who claims to be the virtuous man. They team up with the remnant of the children of Cain. They come across the Fallen, they come across Asher and Asmodeus. And then finally, in the last book, not going to give too many spoilers away, but Bobby is going to come face to face with the big bad himself. He is going to come face to face with Kanor. So the stories we see very much from like Bobby's point of view. They're not first person, unlike the Sam books. They are third person, but you know, they're very much Bobby's view on the world around him, and it's been quite refreshing to write. I think the first one I wrote was about 2016. I started around the same time as Dark Justice, and it wasn't published until later. It took quite a while to get going, because it's very, very different. My original intention was to write something in Sam's world, albeit in the far future, which was very much YA, very much young adult. And I quickly came to the realization I didn't like the style I was writing in. It found stilted, and it was sort of like very cardboard cutout children just doing stuff, and there's no real peril. And then, as I mentioned in the author's notes of Eternal Talisman, I started reading the Jedi Apprentice books by Jude Watson. Highly, highly recommend them if you can get hold of them. I bought them quite a few years ago now, before Disney elbowed its way into Lucasfilm. So they're incredibly hard to get hold of. Some of them can be quite pricey, certainly the later ones. Typical kids' books. There are loads of sort of like the first few, then the children either lost them or lost interest. So as the series progresses, there's fewer and fewer books around. But I got the lot, and I have thoroughly enjoyed reading them. I love the way that Watson wasn't afraid to put her children heroes in peril, and seeing how they would react. And they weren't always reacting as heroes. You know, she showed that the children could be flawed characters, And we start to see this certainly in the Bobby Normal books, not necessarily from Bobby himself at the beginning, but from Katie. You have this 8-year-old who's very feisty, and she wants to do more. She wants to do more. You know, this part of her is very angry at the fact that her mum's dead, her dad's dead. Whereas Bobby, we see, is far more stoic. And, you know, Bobby is happy to make friends with people. Bobby just wants the quiet life. You know, things aren't nice, but it's his life. It's what he's used to. So we get this real sort of, I don't know, a little bit sort of like abrasion, as it were, between the two siblings. As in Bobby Normal and Children of Cain, Katie says to the vampires when they've had an argument, "Oh yes, we know what it's like. We fight sometimes too." So where did the inspiration for Bobby come from? I'd say I'm not entirely sure with this one. There is a scene in Dark Justice where Sam encounters his first construct. Not so like the human form, but the first clay form. And it's described in quite vivid detail. I remember writing that and being very, very pleased at the time. And every time I read it back now, I'm still like, yeah, I got that right, And I remember I was writing, I was thinking, what would a child think if a child saw this creature? And that was the first scene I wrote for Bobby. I wrote the scene where this construct walks into his home village and like peers down to him. And we get this description of this small child staring this construct, this monster, in the face. You know, no fear. And then the construct just laughs. It's like warbly, gurgly way, that sort of business. And then just strides off, and the rest of the village just start breathing again. And I sort of took it from there. It was a case of, well, what would this child grow into? What were his influences? What made him that way? And then we started bringing in the likes of Teller, who was the bully. And of course, you know, bullies have to meet sticky ends. I'm not saying too much because, you know, spoilers if you haven't read the book. But yeah, it's fairly gruesome. And it's like, oh dear, one of those moments. And then we had Cutter, who was this old man, this mysterious old man who can change shape, who befriends them. And as we go on into the third book, we see he doesn't trust the Children of Cain. And at the end of the Children of Cain, Bobby Normal and Children of Cain, there is this massive reveal as to why he doesn't trust them. And that's another sort of moment. I really enjoyed writing that one. Looking forward to starting Bobby Normal and the Fallen in the next few weeks. So yeah, it was basically to bring this child's view on this devastated land, this divergent land, as it were. I've thoroughly enjoyed writing them. There's going to be 5 in total. So I've done 3 at the moment. Eternal Talisman, Virtuous Man and Children of Cain. Next one, which I'm going to start in the next few weeks, is Bobby Normal and the Fallen. And the final one will be Bobby Normal and the Black Dragon. And without giving too much away, that's not the end of the stories for Bobby. Because the 9th and the penultimate book of Sam is Bobby Normal. Is Sam Spallucci to Dare the Dragon. And we're actually going to have Bobby in Sam's timeline. We're going to have the 2 characters interacting. Because Bobby has found something out about Sam. And he goes back in time to try and sort things out. I'll just leave it at that for now. Anyway, that's my little rambling about Bobby. Yeah, if you haven't read them, I do recommend that. They are short reads. They're sort of like novella length. And they are good fun. I know most people who've read them, as far as I know, have enjoyed them. I've enjoyed writing them, certainly. So have a look over at the website, airschambers.co.uk, as always. Again, if you haven't already, please give me a quick like. Give me a subscribe as well, because then you have me whiffling at you on a far more regular basis, which hopefully is a pleasing thing. Who knows? Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.